With about 60 days left until Indiana starts its basketball season, it's time to talk about lineup. What will the lineups look like for the Hoosiers and the 25-26 season? We'll get into all that and more on this episode of Indiana Sports Connection. Let's get into it.
Pretty simple. I win. Basketball is a way of life in Indiana that many people will never understand.
Hello, guys, and welcome to Indiana Sports Connection. I am your residential anchor, Aaron. Thank you so much for being here and being part of this community. Thank you so much for coming back today. We're going to talk about the Indiana Hoosiers basketball team. I got another video coming your way on Friday about the football team, but today we're going to get deep dive into the lineups. I'm going to tell you the players I believe in a lot, the players I believe in middle of the road, and then the players that we really have no idea what they're going to do out there. The players that are going to have to prove their way onto the floor. We'll talk about all that and more on this episode of Indiana Sports Connection. But first, if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button down below. This is where the most passionate fans of Indiana Hoosiers athletics come to talk about the football team, the basketball team, soccer team. If it's happening, I will talk about it on here, but mostly basketball and football on here. So hit that subscribe button. You don't want to miss anything because this is the most consequential year probably in all of Indiana athletics. I was talking to my dad about this the other day. It's like the football team has to prove it this year, and the basketball team has to make the tournament this year. That's not a must-have, but this basketball team, I'm going to tell you, there's not been a time where I felt like we needed to turn the page on the basketball team and get a coach that we actually believe in, because it's been a long road. So do all that good stuff. Thank you for being here. I do have a giveaway at 3,200 subscribers. Leave your comments down below. So if this video hits 3,200 subscribers, I will choose one of the comments on the video. And somebody will win this sweatshirt. I still have one of these left over from last year, and I got a bunch more t-shirts and stuff lined up. So as the videos get rolling again, we'll be hitting like 100 subscribers every few days, and I will do a giveaway. Every 100 subscriptions on here, I will do the giveaway. So do all that good stuff. Thank you for joining me. And it's just to grow, the passion of the Indiana fan base with the basketball team, with the football team is growing. And this is a year where I think we got a lot of bandwagon fans that might jump on the football team, and people that might like our basketball team the way we're playing more than we have in years past. And 10% of the AdSense revenue on this channel goes to T2T.org. And also, if you live in the Fort Wayne area and you need lawn mowing services, call or text Aaron at Grassmasters Elite Turfgrass Experts at 863-397-3518. If you need mowing, fertilization, weed control, all of that good stuff, text or call Aaron at Grassmasters today. Without further ado, let's get into talking about the Indiana Hoosiers. All right. So, Hillbilly Monkey, what do we got to talk about today? We're going to talk about all these different lineups. And I'm going to tell you, right off the bat, let's talk about what it looks like the starting lineup is going to be. And I don't think there's much discussion about this. Everybody thinks we don't have a big guy, or we're not going to be able to rebound on the levels we, have in the past. We are a terrible rebounding team about the past 8 years. So I don't really see how we could get much worse than that. But my starting lineup for the Indiana Hoosiers, who I think is going to be the main starters, and I don't think this is set in stone, but it's going to be Connerway at the guard, Wilkerson at the 2 spot, Tucker DeVries at the 3 spot, Sam Alexis at the 4 spot, and Reed Bailey at the 5 spot. I think that's a starting lineup. Leave your comments down below. I want to hear from you. Now let's talk about some different lineups, some different things that they can do beyond that. And then the way I really see it right now is that, Sicily, Enright, Ristic, I believe those guys. On the tapes from Puerto Rico, I saw Ristic playing in a lot more situations than I really did. So, it's hard to get a grasp on these foreign guys because They don't have the same type of high school, everything that we have here. So you don't hear about them or see them in the same way as you do like a Trent Sicily that, played at high school in Indiana and played at Montverde. So in some ways, I broke this down into like who can plug and play into like different areas. So here's how I really kind of broke this down, and do this at home, play with the lineup, see what you think would be the best lineup. It's one of the fun things about watching and rooting for a basketball team, I mean, the guards that can be interchangeable, and these are the guys that I think would be like the primary ball handlers, the guy that are going to bring the ball up the court, make the main decisions. But Connerway, Enright, Ristic, and Drake, I mean, those 4 guys are your point guards, 1, 2, 3, 4. I think you want to have at least one of those guys on the floor at all times. So that's one of the rules, I set up with like the way I'm messing with these lineups. And then I just broke it into like mid-level players. So the mid-level players, I got DeVries, Wilkerson, Sicily, and I put Wilkerson at the 2. He is not a point guard. I don't see him really ever being somebody that's going to bring the ball up the court. Maybe he can handle the ball. He can do that type of thing, but he's not the main guy. Like he's going to start in that position and do that type of thing. From doing this show 2 years, from the comments sections in years past when we imploded on ourselves, and I did this too, is stretched way too far with certain players. Say, Kanan Carlisle, he could play point guard or shooting guard, or maybe play, once you see these guys on the court, you see what they can actually do and what they can not do. And you do start to realize like they're college players. They're unpolished turds out there, some of them, and they don't know what the hell they're doing. So just keep that in mind, so I try to not reach like too far thinking, okay, yeah, like you could play Wilkerson at the 1 and, DeVries at the 2, because that's not going to happen. Then in the other mids, I got Sicily there, Nick Dorn, John Harris. I don't know why Josh Harris, not John Harris. Josh Harris. All right. We're doing this together. We're learning these names. All right. Josh Harris. And then I put that Connerway could play in the mid game. Connerway could play at the 2 and play off guard in a smaller lineup where Enright would be the primary ball handler at the 1. I have heard DeVries say that Connerway has really worked on his shot over the summer. So that's where maybe he'd get his opportunity to get more shots up if he played off ball and Enright. And we'll talk about that lineup in just a minute. And then Josiah Miles to round out. So DeVries, Wilkerson, Sicily, Dorn, Harris, Connerway, and Miles. Those are the guys I have like at the mid-level range. For the guys that I have really playing our big positions, and this is where this team might get into trouble with foul trouble, but Bailey, Alexis, and Sicily. I mean, those are your main big guys that are going to be guarding guys around the basket. So, maybe some of these other mid-level guys is where we're going to have to like, in games where guys might get in foul trouble, it might be like DeVries or Josiah Miles or DeVries. I mean, Josiah Miles is pretty big, like 6'7". There might be a time where one of those guys has to come in and guard a bigger player than them, and that might be a mismatch situation there. But let's talk about my first lineup. I got as a small lineup, Enright starting at the point with Connerway at the 2, Wilkerson at the 3, and then DeVries at the 4, and then Bailey at the 5 or Alexis at the 5. To me, that's a really strong small lineup where you have 2-3 guys on the court that are really good passers. DeVries, a really good rebounder. Alexis, a really good rebounder with that. Or if you interchange Bailey, one thing that I think is like yet to be seen, how much will Bailey really handle the ball? On the team he played in at Davidson, he even though he's like 6'10", he got the ball on the perimeter, took the ball off the dribble, and did other things like that. Will he be able to do that in the Big Ten? That's yet to be seen. The guy that played at Michigan, the 7-foot dude that played there last year, Fox, Wolf, Danny Wolf. I already forgot his name. Danny Fox. nobody knew what he could do in that position. It was the coaching, of Dusty May that kind of like brought that around. So he's one guy that I think is a big question mark. The other guy, the big question mark, is Alexa Ristic. We talked about him just a little bit. I've seen him in these clips. He's pretty, not big guy, but bigger than you think, like 6'4", 6'5". He's not a small guy, but pretty tall and can handle the ball. Like, will he be able to play, in Wilkerson's spot off the bench? Will he be like one of the first guys off the bench playing more like point guard? I don't know. What do you think from the clips you've seen so far? It's just it's really hard to get a beat on some of these foreign guys. Like, what will they be able to do right away? Or were they just playing in the games in Puerto Rico because they were going against some lesser competition? I really don't know. The guys that didn't play over there, like I believe it was Josh Harris and Josiah Miles, they didn't go on the Puerto Rico trip. So, they really are going to be set back maybe a little bit, but it's just those guys, it's hard to get any idea of what they're really going to bring to the table just because you didn't see them out there playing in any of those games. So right there, two giant question marks. Tell me what you think about the lineups. Tell me what you think. Like, what do you think DeVries is going to bring to the table? I think he's probably going to play like an 8-man rotation, and I really think it's going to be tight with the guys he's going to trust right off the bat. And but he'll be the monkey. What do you think? Like, who's one of the guys you're looking for?
Carved from the sands of the Wabash River and formed into a monkey land that's sold at Home Goods. It's the Hillbilly Monkey Perspective on Indiana Sports Connection.
Well, I'll tell you, I think a lot of these guys, we don't have any idea. I think sometimes with them, Sam Alexis, maybe he can shoot from the outside. Can Reed Bailey connect on three-pointers in the Big Ten? Can Trent Sicily actually play and body up with people in the Big Ten as a freshman? And then some of the other guys coming from mid-major schools like Nick Dorn and Harris and Miles, we have no idea what they're going to be able to do in the Big Ten. So it's hard to really hatch any of these chickens. Tucker DeVries is definitely, probably going to be in the top 10 players in the Big Ten, and the team has some talent that they can put around him with Wilkerson, but boy, it's going to be a long time here before we see how are these guys going to come together in the end.
Well, yeah, no doubt. It is. I keep flip-flopping back and forth. I'm super pumped for basketball season to be here. We got about 60 days, like 62 days until the first game, November 5th, against Alabama A&M, I believe it is. So, and they put on the schedule, you saw they have the exhibition against Baylor at the United Center. And then shortly after that, they play Marquette. So in no time at all, we get a few weeks into this football season, and basketball season, before we know it, is just a couple of months away. We'll be like right in the thick of, I can't wait to really see it. I can't wait to see how DeVries teams look different. I can't wait to see a different product than Archie Miller and the Mike Woodson product. I can't wait to see a team that's going to shoot 3-pointers. I am very excited about him and DeVries, and they are recruiting their asses off. I don't make a bunch of videos about recruiting, but these guys, by all accounts, are like just getting out there and doing some mad recruiting all over the place. Over in Europe, Drew Adams, all over the place. They're getting guys on campus during these big football games. Coming up is the best time to bring people in, show them that we fill our football stadium. We got the tailgating going on and everything like that. That will help a little bit, to show that, we have a real deal football experience at Indiana as well. So all that, I am so excited for the basketball to start up. And thank you so much for everybody for joining me today. Hit that subscribe button, and thanks for coming back. Until next time, stay classy out there, Hoosier fans.